I'm so excited about tonight. This is
I
going to be the
know.
the like show of all shows.
We have so
So
much to share.
I know. It's the best because it is the back to school nutrition special.
Yeah.
And it is indeed back to school time. And this actually applies to everybody because we have tips for everyone who has ever had a busy schedule.
Yeah.
And yes, absolutely. So, welcome back, Cailtin Riley. Yay.
Thank you. Happy to be here.
Wonderful. One of our registered dietitians and contributors for foodguides.com, and just a wonderful person. If you have ever seen any of Caitlin's shows, you know that, everything that Caitlin makes is awesome. Everything that we talk about is just so just timely and helpful. So we're just going to kick things off because we have so much to go over.
We do have a lot to try to squeeze in, but I think we can do, I think it'll be good. We can
I think
multitask
so
in so many
too.
ways.
Absolutely. Yeah. And, with that being said, one of the things that, we will actually do is start off by giving people really quick and easy meal prep ideas. And we're going to do two of them
Yeah.
right from the get go.
Yes.
So I'm just so excited because one, I'm going to have two meal preps ready to go for the rest of the week. And two, they are like, well, my kitchen smells great, but they also like just seem like fantastic meals, like
Yeah.
100%. So
Easy, can be eaten multiple ways. Can eat them hot, you can eat them cold, can eat it as a salad, you can eat it as a meal. Like that's the kind of food I usually make because everybody has their different preferences of how they like it. So I like to try and make things that can be just easy for the most part. Easy to cook, easy to clean, easy to eat.
yes, yeah. And this so I did do a little bit of the prepping like
Did as
beforehand for
well.
time's sake, like just some of the chopping. And this is the first time that I've ever used the like thigh meat
Yeah.
for fajitas, but I love the taste of chicken thighs. So this is
Yes.
going to be really cool for
Yep.
sure.
It gives it, it's so much, a little bit more flavorful, that little, and like, I think people stay away from chicken thighs because they think it's a really high fat meat, and it's a fat, higher in fat than chicken breast, but it's not a high fat choice. Like it's still a really good lean protein, and they're inexpensive. They can feed, like you can bulk up a meal and feed a family with like one package of chicken thighs, which I think is great. You can do the same with chicken breasts, but chicken thighs usually come in a package of 5 or 6, and you can really like stretch them to feed a bigger family or feed yourself and then have leftover for multiple meals. And I just think they're more flavorful than chicken breast.
Oh, I agree, definitely. Actually, the package that I got, which was the or organic, ones
Yeah,
that were in there, which, you don't have to get the,
right.
those type, but they were a package of 8
Oh,
and really nice size. And really, it was the only option that they had at the store I was at. And for a package of 8, it was like
ah,
$8.58.
yep.
Yeah. So $1 a chicken thigh. But
Yeah,
yeah,
it's
yeah,
awesome.
I had a lot of fun trying to get through it. Alex, actually, my husband says, I really need to find that knife sharpener.
Yeah. Do you know what's a great tip for cutting chicken too is to use kitchen scissors? Like
I
they
went
have,
there.
so many times I've had conversations with people and they're like, "What are the scissors even for? Like, is it to cut open a bag? Like, what are they for?" And I think the purpose of them is usually herbs, is like why they come in a knife block, but they're great for cutting up like chicken. Certain fruit is really great to do it, like string beans, to snip the tips off string beans. Like I use chicken or kitchen scissors for everything, and I have one pair that's specific for chicken.
That is so funny because that's exactly where I went. I finally gave up and I went to the kitchen shears. I'm like, yes. And it worked great. Yeah,
Yeah, especially if you're like
absolutely.
breading nuggets or something, like breading stuff to make nuggets, you just cut them to size, like to that bite-sized piece. And it's, I mean, not any, I don't know, I just find it easier than even using two hands to cut with a knife. Like you get hold it on a board and snip it with the knife or the scissors. I mean, I just find it super easy. I love to use kitchen
Yeah.
scissors.
Yeah, absolutely. Fantastic tip, everybody. So
Yeah.
yeah. Well, let's get
I,
into these
yeah.
sheet pan fajitas first.
And fajitas. I already
Yes.
preheated my oven, so mine's nice
Same.
and hot. 425. I
Yes,
also
absolutely.
did some of the chopping and prepping already too, so that we could kind of just get going.
Great.
So I use like a Ziploc bag for something like this, because then you just mix it all together and then toss the bag away rather than dirtying another dish. So,
Yeah, I actually am so excited to show this. So this is one of
oh,
my kitchen gadgets that I don't know how I procured it, but I don't know if you've ever seen this before, but
does it hold the bag open?
it does. Yeah.
I don't have one, but I would love one.
And it sticks. So like it sticks, here.
That's awesome.
It will definitely come in handy for this recipe for sure.
Because you definitely don't want to like be touching the chicken and then go to pick up something else, and then you get all like chickeny when you're trying to close the bag. So what a fun little tool. I like that.
Definitely. So cool. So
Yeah.
so for everybody who is joining us, we're going to do two preps. We're going to do two meal preps, and this is just to help everybody just kind of realize that it is, you know, really simple to throw together some easy meals for your family, for yourself during the week, just to have on hand. And it doesn't take much time to do this.
Right.
And then, you know, Cailtin, talk a bit about how you can go ahead and, you know, plan out. You don't have to plan specific days, right?
Yeah, because I feel like when people think about meal planning, you think about it in like the Pinterest fridge of like all the mason jar salads and all of the like pre-prepped like boxes that are 6 meals out. And I don't know. For me, that's not reasonable. Like I don't like to make a salad and eat it 6 days later personally.
Right.
So when I'm doing and prepping, I will kind of look at our family schedule. As silly as it sounds, I look at the weather when I'm like meal planning, because if it's going to be hot and 90 degrees, I might not want to put on the oven for fajitas. And maybe that night is more of like sandwiches and fruit and veggie sticks and like that kind of thing. And I have young kids, so that's kind of where we go in the summer nights. But a lot of times I will plan on, like, I'll do my food shopping on a Thursday morning, and then I'll plan on Friday mornings, spending 1 hour meal prepping. And that's really all I'll do. And simple things like I'll make a batch of muffins because my kids eat them by the fistful. So I'll probably make a double batch of muffins. I'll probably make some granola bars or some kind of snack that the kids can kind of grab freely. And then I'll spend, 20 minutes just washing and dicing fruit and vegetables. And this is where I kind of get my kids involved in it too. Is I have twin girls who are 4 and I have a 9-year-old son. So I like to let them help as much as they are interested in helping. So the girls will like wash the fruits and wash the vegetables and dice it. They have like kid safe knives that they'll dice the peppers into strips, or they'll chop up some asparagus. And they are definitely not kids who eat everything. They're kids who are a little bit more selective. But I have to say that getting them involved in the kitchen and having them just do simple things like wash the vegetables makes it so much easier for them to be willing to try something, which I love to see.
Yes.
Um, so that's kind of my plan when I go into meal prepping, is let me prep some of the things that we can use throughout the week. So sliced peppers, the kids will have those with lunch, and I'll use them in a dinner recipe, and I'll snack on them myself. And then something like making a batch of muffins, like the kids might help me make those. But then I'll have 1 or 2 meals that I have planned for that night and maybe the next night or the next couple of days worth of lunches. And I'll just set a timer for an hour and get as much done as I can in that amount of time. And that's just kind of how it rolls. And I usually get 2 to 3 meals done, a bunch of fruit and vegetables washed and chopped, and then snacks prepared for the kids. And I usually will have like a drawer or a shelf in the refrigerator that is all kid-friendly snacks. I'll put them in one of those little like plastic bins for the fridge, and it's like cheese sticks, applesauce pouches, hummus, maybe some guacamole, something like that. Maybe some sliced apples, pre-washed fruit, and the kids know that they can kind of go there and grab a snack. If I say like, all right, you guys pick out a snack, I'm gonna go, I have to finish this, but grab a snack. And I'll do the same for the pantry. And that's more like granola bars or muffins or pretzels or something like that, that they can, it's at their level, they can reach it. They know that those snacks are up for grabs kind of in the, free for all snack season
Right.
that is summer vacation.
Oh, yeah. Well, I can't wait till we get to the lunch options and the after school snack
Yeah.
talk because I found some amazing things when I was out and about.
Oh,
And it's going
good.
to be so cool to show everybody. Um, what I love about your sheet pan fajitas is that like this, once you put it in the Ziploc bag, you can freeze it. So if you
Yeah.
wanted to make a double batch, you could cook one and then freeze the other for a later date
Definitely.
too,
Yep. And
which is so
you could
cool.
do this with shrimp and it would be really good.
Oh
You
yeah.
could probably do, I haven't done it or frozen it with like flank steak, but something like that would probably be really good too. Or even just doing the veggies and having like the seasoned peppers and onions. And then you could have it be like a meatless meal too and do rice and beans instead of chicken. Um,
Perfect.
Yeah, and you could add beans to this meal too. I just happened to not for this time, but black beans would be really good. Kidney beans would be tasty. So
Oh
lots of options.
yeah. Awesome. Well, as we go through, I actually have not made the dry the spice yet, the
Okay,
spice
cool.
blend. So I will do that as I go through the ingredients with our audience. But
Perfect.
the four ingredients that you really had to prep, kind of just chop up beforehand, include the one large onion.
Yep.
So I chose a white onion, and I'm going to go ahead and put that in the bag because
Yeah,
that's what it
perfect.
says to do.
I
Um, so,
ended up
and
using a red onion because that's what
okay,
I had.
perfect. Got one
And I
onion.
love roasting onions too because I know that that is sometimes a food that kids shy away from and that they see like a speck of onion in something and it's a no-go. But the roasted kind of fajita onions get super sweet and they really just kind of break down. So it's not a super intimidating vegetable, but if if you have a family member that really doesn't like the taste of onion or if onion is too strong for you, you could definitely leave it out and do like a little bit of onion powder to still get the flavor, but not have the actual like acidic vegetable in there.
Perfect. Let's see, then we have one large red pepper and one large yellow pepper. And then those go in the bag as well.
Yeah.
Okay. So at this point, okay, so then it comes to the five chicken breasts. Oh,
Yep.
I'm sorry, the five
Chicken
chicken
thighs.
thighs. um, which again, cut into fajita strip
Yep.
size. Uh, and like Caitlin and I were talking about, the kitchen shears actually worked pretty well for this.
Works
So
really
I am, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and throw these in the bag as well. And again, I love this. I love this little holder thing
Yeah, that
here.
is so cool. I'm gonna have to look for one of those. I do a lot of frozen vegetables and like pre-made smoothie bags, which is something that I was going to bring up when we talk about like after school snacks. But I love to prep fruit and vegetables ahead of time for smoothies and just freeze them pre-made, and then you just dump them in the blender and add whatever your like milk choice is.
Oh,
But that would be
perfect.
really helpful because then the kids could really easily kind of fill their own bags and not knock them over 50 times.
Oh, no kidding. Definitely. Okay, so now we're going to mix up the spice blend. So I'm just going to set this over here while I do that. So the spice blend is 1 tablespoon of chili powder.
Yep. And this can be pretty, like if somebody doesn't keep a lot of spices on hand at home, you can definitely buy a package of like taco seasoning or fajita seasoning. I just think it's one of those things that usually you do have this, like a lot of people do keep spices at home. So it's something that you can easily throw together. And again, it's pretty customizable. If you don't want it super spicy, you can scale back on the chili. Or if you know, really like oregano, you can add extra, however you want to do it.
Perfect. Yeah, that's a great tip there, because I know that because I was spending some time at the Dollar Tree, kind of like looking around. Of course, all of these spices are available there, from what I can
Yep.
tell. But also, if you just want to get a fajita mix, they do have the low sodium ones that are really good.
Yeah, true.
Then we go with a teaspoon of cumin,
Yep.
and my teaspoon is missing, so I'm going to be using 2 halves here.
Okay.
I don't know where my teaspoon went. All right. Then we have garlic powder, and this is a 1/4 teaspoon.
Yeah. And again, you can add more. You could add fresh garlic if you wanted. Sometimes fresh garlic, like the onions, it gets kind of like sweet and roasted and just kind of falls apart and melts. So you could use fresh garlic if you wanted.
All right. We have onion powder as our next ingredient, and this is a 1/4 teaspoon.
1/4 teaspoon, yep.
This smells so good. We have 1 teaspoon of paprika.
Yeah. I love paprika, so I usually put a little extra, but whatever. Again, that's what I like about making your own spice blends, because you can really do what your family's preferences are.
Yeah, I'm almost out. I'll have to put that on the list of spices to get. And we have 1 teaspoon of salt.
Yep.
I'm using my quarter.
Okay.
And yeah, I know that looked a little sus for a second. And then and then 1/2 teaspoon of pepper.
Yes.
If I can open.
Those jars are such a pain to open. Don't you always feel like you're going to break your fingernail?
Yeah.
They're just tricky. I don't know. By design, maybe.
Yeah, I know. I feel like I've had this forever too, because I use my grinder, so I don't usually
Yes.
get this one out, you know?
Yep.
And then last but not least, 2 tablespoons of chopped parsley. But I have
Yep.
parsley flakes, which I'm sure is fine.
Oh yeah, definitely.
All right. So this is the mix here, the dry mix.
Yep.
I'll just, ooh, all right. So stir that up there.
Stir that right up, and then again, just dump it right in the bag.
Okay. Bring this over again here. Dump it in. Okay, and then we have 3 tablespoons of olive oil and a 1/4 cup of lime juice.
Yep. And again, if it seems like a little dry, like you had a bigger pack of chicken thighs, you might need a little bit more olive oil for yours. But the 1/4 cup or so of lime juice or lemon juice, if you didn't have limes, lemon juice will work too. You can kind of eyeball the olive oil too if you want. If it looks like it's not mixed up quite enough, you can just add a little bit more.
Okay.
And just seal it up and kind of squish it all around.
Okay. Let's take this out here. Seal it up.
That's a good kid job if you have kids working with you.
Oh, definitely. That's would be the fun part. Oh, that's definitely wet enough for sure.
Yeah. I like it with a lot of lime juice, so it might seem like a lot, but it all kind of cooks off, and then I put a little bit more on top when they're done. I just like it really kind of with that acid kick, but again, you can do it to your taste.
You've got your fajita mix.
Yeah, perfect. And freezing it is such a good idea. I never end up doing that, but that's a great idea. Because once you marinate it too, like the flavors will just soak in even more, and then you can thaw it out and throw it right in the oven.
Oh, yes, absolutely. So I think I will let this sit for a minute while we make the other one
Okay.
and then throw it in.
I'm going to spread mine out.
Well, actually, you're right. For time's sake, so we can show everybody the finished product,
Yeah.
I will go ahead and just spread it out. Because this
And you
only
don't
takes
have
25 minutes.
Yeah, about 25 minutes. And you don't, I know some people like to cook on tin foil. Other people don't like to cook on foil or wax paper. If you want to line your sheet pan, then it's even easier cleanup because you just toss it.
Right. And you were suggesting parchment paper, right?
Yeah. Yep. Which I like it. It doesn't really like crisp up the chicken or the vegetables as much. It just kind of keeps everything even. So if you wanted to get a little bit more of that kind of roasted glaziness to the vegetables, you could just go straight on the sheet pan.
And one of the best tips that you ever gave me that I had never heard before was to crinkle up the
Yeah.
parchment paper before you lie it down because it will stay. And
Yep.
that has just been a lifesaver ever since.
I know. I feel like I might have figured that out of anger one day, like just being like, oh, I want this roll out. But yeah, if you crinkle it up first, then it actually lays flat for you to put, because usually you're lining like a baking tin or something and it just keeps curling right back up.
Absolutely. I love it. And of course, like we use it that technique because we make your granola bars all the
Yeah,
time. So
those are so good. So then it's kind of just spread it all out. It has tons of seasoning, looks yummy.
smells yummy.
Smells like fajitas.
Oh, it does.
I'm gonna stick
I
mine
really
in.
love it. Okay. So this has been spread out super fast.
Yeah.
You can see. Now stick it in the oven. Okay. Now the next recipe is fun. This is one that you're going to have in an article coming up for Less Back to School Stress.
Yeah.
And I would have never thought to do this, so I am excited about it. But it is crock pot chicken Caesar salad.
Yeah. Yep. And again, so simple and super customizable. So it's just this one I usually use chicken breasts, but you can also use chicken thighs, absolutely. And Caesar salad dressing. And typically, I'm going to grab mine out of the fridge. I usually get something like this one, like an oil, more of an oil-based Caesar, because it's going to be cooking like for several hours. I've never tried it with the creamy Caesar, but I always get I was a little bit weirded out about using the creaminess in the crock pot. So
Well, that's all they had at the store. So I'm going to let you know how it turns out.
All right, let me know how it goes. I'm sure it's going to be delicious, but I just always end up using the oil-based one. But just throw your chicken in.
So 4 breasts.
Yep, 4 chicken breasts. And honestly, I usually just like eyeball the dressing, but it's probably about a cup, maybe a cup and a half. You want to completely cover the chicken breasts and also let there be like a little bit of a soupiness to the dressing in the bottom of the pot.
Okay. So almost the entire container.
Yeah.
And so what are we doing with this after we're finished with
So
it?
my favorite way to do it, I'm going to show you a trick because I cooked mine earlier so that I could show you the best way to shred it rather than taking two forks and kind of doing it one at a time. Um, have it as like on top of a salad, like a chicken Caesar salad, or we'll do wraps and do chicken Caesar wraps and we'll have them for dinner with like roasted potatoes and some fruit, or have it like my husband will eat it for leftovers for lunch, just kind of heat it up with some other stuff on the side. It's good with crackers. It's just kind of one of those good staple flavors to have in the fridge. And what I love about it is really any sauce will work. So you could do it with barbecue sauce, you could do salsa, you could do like a Greek dressing if you wanted to have shredded chicken for like a Greek salad. Super easy, super custom to whatever your family likes.
Okay.
So I'm going to show you what I do with mine is I just get a hand mixer, like one of these, and it's pretty hot, so definitely start slowly. But you
Okay.
will just put the mixer right into the crock pot and shred it. The mixer will shred it for you. So you just kind of go like this, and it shreds to be like, can you see that? Like perfectly
Yes.
shredded chicken. And it's done in like, you could also do it in a stand mixer, but I find a hand mixer to be even easier. And then that amount of chicken can serve multiple meals, or you can have it in the fridge for the full week for lunches or quick dinners. I love it. I made it yesterday actually with barbecue sauce, and we just had like barbecue chicken sandwiches with some coleslaw on top, and it was really good, really fast, and it fed a handful of people, so it was great.
Oh, that's perfect. I think that would be so good on like those little King's Hawaiian rolls.
Yeah, so good.
Oh,
I think we used
yeah.
like a brioche hamburger bun was what we had. So yeah, my husband really liked it. And like the sweetness of like the barbecue sauce and coleslaw is pretty tasty. So that was a good one.
Oh, definitely. Yeah. Now I have like several more dinner ideas in my head, but
Yeah.
I'm super excited about this. I actually was thinking that with the, tortillas that I have for, the fajitas, that I could actually make the chicken Caesar salad wraps.
Yeah. So good.
Yes. Yeah. So that is my plan because I'm like, sometimes you just have leftover, flour tortillas or
Yep.
corn tortillas and what do you do with them? And it's like wraps are
Yeah.
perfect. And this is exactly you know, what you could do, especially chicken Caesar.
Yeah.
So
And
good. So,
that's a good tip for with meal planning too, that if you take like a half an hour, take an hour to yourself to like look through cookbooks or look at what your family's like favorite meals are that you make and plan your week that way, so that if you know you're making fajitas on Monday and you're going to have tortillas, then make something else later in the week that also uses up those tortillas, so that way you're not wasting any food and you're kind of getting the most out of the groceries that you're buying every week, to just kind of limit the overspending or the over purchasing or the needing to like run back to the store for one ingredient and then you leave with 10 ingredients.
yeah, that's so true.
Like I can't
So
can't ever go
true.
into Trader Joe's with like less than 2 bags coming out. So
I know. Oh my gosh. Well, shall we move into the lunch preparations?
yeah,
Okay, because I'm so excited about this.
yeah, this is fun.
Yeah, definitely. And there's so many cool things to do with lunches.
Yo, I'm excited.
So we both had a mission for we have a speaker request. Well, Chris, chime in for a moment. Yes.
Yes, I'm sorry. Before we move on to lunch, what was the temperature that you cooked the chicken? It was a crock pot. Is it low, medium, high? And did you just add that bit of sauce or dressing and that's all? No water or anything else?
Yes, exactly. I just used the sauce. If the sauce for like the creamy Caesar looked a little thicker, you could probably add a little bit of water or at least like mix it so that the chicken's totally coated. And then I like to do on low for 6 hours, but it's honestly usually done around the 4 hour mark. Just my crock pot doesn't have a low for 4 hour setting. So I find that with chicken breasts, it never takes as long as a recipe seems to call for. So anywhere in the like low for 6, high for 4 time frame, I think should be plenty.
Thank you so much. Final question. Do you deliver to San Francisco?
I could try.
Okay, perfect.
We're working on it for sure. Definitely. Um, so lunches.
Yeah.
Lunches are always one
The
of those things where you get to a point where you really want your kids to eat their lunch.
yes, for
And
sure.
you know, and so sometimes you have to get creative. And then also, like, I feel as an adult, sometimes you just get really busy and you also have to make a really significant effort to plan your lunches. Otherwise, you're just kind of grabbing things that maybe are not
Exactly.
as healthy as well. So, this
Or you're not eating,
information,
which I
yes,
think
or
is
you're not
just
eating,
as
yes,
common and like just as much of a struggle as the I don't know what to pack, I'm just going to eat like my kids' leftovers. But even like my husband is still working from home most days and I think is going back to his office soon, but is still working from home. And I find that most days I'm like making lunch for the kids, making lunch for myself, and we'll end up bringing him something. But if I didn't bring him lunch, he definitely wouldn't stop to eat. So then he'll end up snacking all afternoon, or, and then you
right,
get that 4 o'clock crash where you're either wanting coffee or you end up eating sweets or something
right.
because your body's just starving. You're ready for food. So I think, yeah, and lunches for parents packing school lunches, I feel like it is the thing that people are dreading the most about going back to school. Like people, I don't know, I hear so many conversations of like, oh, I hate packing lunch, or I never know what to pack, or my kids won't eat it, or and then they end up buying lunch at school or something like that instead so that the parents don't have to pack lunch. But there are so many
Right.
options and so many ways to kind of make it work for your family, I think.
Definitely. And we have some examples to show everybody.
Yeah.
And I will just say that all of my examples today are foods from the Dollar Tree.
Wow, that's
So,
awesome.
yes, yeah. So, I really just, I know that there is, a misconception often that healthier foods cost more,
Yep.
but you can find decent alternatives even at stores like the Dollar Tree, where everything is not a dollar anymore. It's a dollar
Right. The
25.
$1.25 tree.
Yes, exactly. But there are things that you can get that are decent. Um, if you are, just in an economic crunch. So I want to share some of the things that I found that I was super impressed with while I was out shopping.
Oh,
Um,
I'm excited
you
to
know,
see.
for lunch. I know, I'm so excited. Um, but one of the things that I love to do is bento box lunches.
Yes.
So, you know, they just look cool.
Yep.
So
And they're
preparing
perfect like
lunches.
portion
Yes.
sizes for kids. It's so great because like a lot of times you'll pack tons of food for your kids for lunch thinking that well, if I pack a lot of options, at least they'll eat something. But I love the bento boxes because it really is like the appropriate serving size for them, especially when schools have lunches that are, 15 or 20 minutes long. That's like
Right.
nothing.
Right. And seriously, like if you're not aware of how long school lunches actually are, coming
Right.
from somebody who has taught public school, those
Yeah.
kids literally have maybe 15 minutes to actually eat their
Yep.
lunch. So, if you're packing something that, requires preparation,
Right.
and the school might only have one microwave. They're
If they
not,
even have one,
yeah,
it's to
yeah, it's
access, you know?
exactly. They're probably not provided the chance to get to it.
Yeah.
That's the conversation to have with them for sure.
Yeah.
I know that, I had a food lab and I had kids coming in and I let them use the microwaves.
Right.
Um, you know, but, but yeah, and they were busy some planning hours more than others.
Yeah.
But yeah, but these are super cool. Options where you do not have to heat them up,
Yep.
um, and things that I actually would eat. Um, and so I'd like to share some of these, and then I know
Yeah.
you have some nut-free options too.
I do. Yep. I packed some
Yeah.
nut-free options. My girls go to a preschool where everything is nut-free. And then my son is in public school where the cafeteria doesn't serve nuts, but the kids are allowed to bring like a peanut butter sandwich just to the cafeteria. And then anyone with a nut allergy sits at their own table. So that's always a good one to have in your back pocket is a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. But I know my son prefers not to bring peanut butter because one of his best friends is allergic. So he doesn't want to have peanut butter on his hands or anything. So,
Oh, definitely.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I usually pack him all nut-free stuff. Um, but I have some bento boxes to share too that are this like bento brand that I've had this one for Finn since he was in preschool and it lasts forever. He's entering fourth grade this year. But
Wow.
this year I bumped him up to like the big kid size so it can fit a full sandwich, which I'll show you
Oh,
when it's my turn.
fantastic. All right. Well, I'll get started.
Okay.
Well, first of all, I was very impressed to see that they carried cheese. So mild cheddar and pepper jack were available at the Dollar Tree, which was very cool. So the first bento box I made um, utilized suddenly salad,
Ooh.
which is super cool because it's a pasta salad. And you can do a lot of different things with pasta salad. In fact, while I was there, I found that they had all of these different wild caught options. So, wild caught tuna, they
That's
had a lemon
awesome.
pepper, they had pink salmon, they even had chicken. Of course, that wasn't wild caught, but they had
Right.
several different flavors of fish and chicken available. So that could be an additional protein addition. This one is a vegetarian version though. So it has pasta salad, whole grain crackers, which they had whole grain wheat thins.
That's awesome. Because those are like
And
probably $5 or $6 in the store, in a grocery store.
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. Um, Another thing that they had was a 3-pack of diced mango. So in
Nice.
a light syrup. So this bento box has pepper jack cheese, whole grain crackers, some pasta salad, and some diced mango. So, I mean, I would eat that
Yeah.
100%. In fact, I might eat that tomorrow. And then another option, which forgive me for the color combination on this. I would have livened it up with a green pepper, but it didn't
Quite
come
all
in the
right.
color pack. Okay. So this one has hummus, cheddar and pepper jack cheese, the whole grain crackers, and then bell peppers. So this is more of like a dippable one. It's a kind of like a lunchable and then a dippable bento box. So definitely finger foods here. So you have, your carbs, your protein, your veggies, um, some good stuff here. And then this is something that definitely floored me. They had 3 packs for $1.25 of the no sugar added, of course, no
Awesome.
preservatives, gluten free, the drinkable fruit purees.
Yep.
These are amazing. So, mango and banana, and then apple and banana, a really quick and easy way to get some fruit
I
into the
love it.
kids. Yeah, and they came in 3 packs. Like,
And you know what's really great is you can throw those in the freezer and then stick them in the lunchbox first thing in the morning, and they will
like a
thaw as
freezer
the day
pack.
goes, but we'll keep everything else cold.
Like a freezer pack.
Yep.
That's perfect.
You can do that with like
Absolutely.
yogurt, the yogurt tubes or like the yogurt pouches too, because
Oh,
it's hot in the school and they usually, I mean, even the first lunch is at least 3 hours into the school day usually, so plenty of time for it to thaw.
oh yeah. Yeah. I mean, so many different options there, for beverages. Their sugar-free options were fantastic, like strawberry lemonade. Like, some people
Yeah.
just don't like the taste of water. We're talking about how important hydration is, but we throw a little drink mix in there. Sometimes they'll
Yep.
drink it. This was my personal favorite. Some kids like it, some kids don't, but they
Yeah,
had
especially the
V8.
ones that are like the fruit blend too, like the V8,
The
I
V8
forget what
Splash. So they did
yeah,
have
V8
it.
Splash.
Yes, they had V8 Splash, which was so great. They also, for you know kids who may need a little more nutrition, they had
Yes.
nutrition shakes there.
That's
So 9
awesome.
grams of protein. Yeah, totally cool. Some other things I found at the Dollar Tree: buffalo style chicken salad and lemon pepper tuna salad. So these are just like little snacks. So
Yep.
it's ready to eat. You don't have to mix anything, and it comes with crackers. And
That's
then,
great for the dorm room too, for kids who are like freshmen in college or like just want to, if their classes run through when the cafeteria is open for lunchtime or something, that would be awesome to have in dorm rooms.
definitely, I mean, I've had them before. They taste great.
Yeah.
So then we had the bag of veggie chips. So these are gluten free. They taste really good, but I know you're wondering how many servings are actually in here. So I went ahead and mommed it up and
Yeah, you did.
to
Yay.
the snack size Ziploc bag.
That's
So
awesome.
we have one, two, three, four snack size Ziploc bags worth of veggie chips in this one bag.
That's great.
They also had the Skinny Pop popcorn, again, another gluten free food. And you can get one, two, wait for it, three snack size servings out of this bag.
Wow.
But here's one of my favorites. So this is actually a nut-free snack right here. Apple
Oh,
cinnamon baked puffs. So I found this and I was like, ooh,
I bet those are good.
these look so good, right? And I couldn't even fit them all in the bag because there is one, two, three, four, 5 snack bags. So a whole week worth of the
That's
apple
awesome.
cinnamon baked puffs to take. And then,
That's
for
great.
honorable mentions, I also found um, freeze dried bananas. They had a
Yep.
whole bunch of other fruits that you could send in snacks, and they had wheat bread. So, you know, very
What a
cool
haul. You got
options.
everything.
It's a haul. It's a haul.
Yeah.
And honestly, like, I have like 2 to 3 weeks worth of, good school snacks and,
Yeah.
several lunch stuff here. So,
And I love
yeah,
like it probably took you just a couple of minutes to portion them out into the little snack bags, but
less
that's
than
awesome
5.
for just having those like pantry bins that the kids can kind of help themselves and they can know like you can grab one little snack bag and a cheese stick or a snack bag and a piece of fruit and that's your afternoon snack and it's awesome to have it pre-portioned because that like skinny pop bag of popcorn would easily be like somebody sit down on the couch and eat the whole bag, but
Yes.
to get 3 servings out of it, that's potentially 3 school days snack already packed.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Because, you don't want them to overdo it with the salt while they're in school.
Right. Yeah, like you mentioned the hydration thing. It's so true that the kids like I know my son will say in the morning, it gets so hot at school, can you pack me an extra water? And then, so I'll send him with 2 full water bottles, and then he'll come home with 2 full water bottles. And I'm like, oh, buddy, did
Right.
you fill them up at school? Like, did you get a chance to go? And he was like, no, I didn't even get a chance to drink any. Like, I'm so thirsty. And I mean, part of that, you have to, the COVID rules and COVID protocols last year was like one thing. But even before all of that, he still would come home with like a full water bottle. So reminding the kids to drink throughout the day is definitely important.
Absolutely. Well, show me your lunch
Okay.
stuff.
All right. I'm going to try to bend my camera here so that you can see. All right. So this is the like Bentago brand of lunchbox. Let's see if here. And I love it. I've had this for Finn since he was in like preschool. And this lunch is, I'm trying to do it one-handed because my phone stand isn't working. But this one is kind of like a Lunchables type of meal, which I just did whole wheat crackers, pepperoni, and cheese. And he can make like little Lunchable sandwiches, grapes, cucumbers. This is the Made Good brand, which is a nut-free granola bar. And then just some little M&Ms that I found at Trader Joe's. So this one I love, and I have this size lunchbox for my girls also who are in preschool. And when they they'll have lunch at school this year. So I think that this size will be perfect for them. It might even be a little bit too much food for them, but the kids love to have like the little snack sections and not have just like a sandwich and a piece of fruit. Like they love the little snacky meals.
Oh yeah, and
So
it's beautiful. The different
yeah,
colors too.
lots
I
of
mean, it really is eye-catching.
yeah, and it's just fun for them to like, graze and feel like they're having, kid charcuterie board,
Yes.
basically. So we love that one. Sometimes they don't always like pepperoni, so you could also do like turkey, like rolled up turkey, or like ham and cheese, something like that. You don't have to have the pepperoni there. Or you could do just like turkey and cheese and crackers, or roll-ups of turkey and cheese and have the crackers on the side. And then the other option that I have here is a bagel and cream cheese, which is not one of my favorites to send, but the kids love bagels and cream cheese, so I send them probably once a week.
Yum.
And then I have a yogurt pouch in here, which these ones are great like for my girls, but it's not quite filling enough for Finn. So when I send a bagel and yogurt for him, I have one of these like thermos containers, which I love this for sending yogurt for him, because then I can pack berries and granola on the side, and he can just make himself, like it's a big container. If you fill it with cold water or ice in the morning for like 10 minutes, it'll stay nice and cold for keeping the yogurt cold all day. And then
yes.
this one comes with a little spoon in the cover. So that's helpful. Because I definitely forget to put a spoon in his lunchbox most days. And then he will forget to get one in the cafeteria. And then we'll just be like, oh, I couldn't eat. So there's the timer for the fajitas. I'm going to grab those.
I was going to say, yeah, I think it's time to take them out.
So I love this one. This bento box is the bigger size, so it actually fits like a full bagel sandwich for my son who's older.
I totally forgot about the bagels, but those are so good. I love the mini bagels.
And like such a staple. I mean, all the kids, at least all my kids and their friends, love bagels. So when I send a bagel for lunch, they're all pretty psyched about that. I'm going to attempt.
Oh, these look so good.
They smell pretty great, right?
Oh, they do.
And I just took a quick temperature check on my chicken, and it should be about 180, and mine was 182. So mine's ready.
Oh, yes. I gotta find my thermometer. It's here somewhere.
And then while the fajitas are really hot, I like to put some lemon juice or lime juice over the top of them, just to give that little acidic kick. It's really tasty.
Actually, I'm not quite sure where it is. Yeah, that's great. Hmm.
And then also in this little bento box, I have a section for fruit and a section for vegetables. So I just gave him some blueberries and peppers. And usually when I pack something like peppers or apple sticks or something that could kind of start to oxidize a little bit, I will just wet a paper towel, drain it completely, and put the paper towel on top of the fruit in the box, and then it stays totally fine through lunch. Even if I pack it the night before, it stays, doesn't really turn color or anything.
Okay.
So I like to do that, especially for apples. If I cut up like apple sticks to send for a snack for the girls or for Finn, I will cut them, and if I peel them, I'll soak them in water with a little bit of lemon juice, or put like a paper towel that's been soaked in water and lemon juice and just squeeze it out really, really tight so there's no water left, and then place it on top of the sliced fruit or veggie, and it keeps it perfect until lunch the next day.
Definitely, because you don't want them to get turned off by the
Yeah,
oxidation.
exactly. And then I have a couple other containers that we really love. One is just this little, like, 4-part Ziploc plastic container, and it's great for young kids snacks. It's still like the bento style, but it's great because it fits like a serving of fruit, a serving of veggies, some crackers, and a piece of cheese, and it's perfect
Oh,
for
great.
like morning snack. It's just a great one. Um, Another thing that I really like are these little stasher bags. I've seen them different. It's Stasher's one brand that I've seen out there. This brand is actually called Zip Top. But they're great because they're a little bit more sturdy than just your regular Ziploc, and they're flat on the bottom. So this one is, I think, a cat, but they're actually good for like grapes or cut up apple or cut up strawberries or something like that, because they don't leak and they fit nicely into a lunchbox with a bento box. So I
Oh,
really like
wow.
this.
I need to get a link for those because I've
Yeah,
never seen those before, but those look very cool.
they're great and they're cute because I think it came in a 4-pack and it was a dog, a cat, a koala, and a pig. So they're cute for the kid
I'm
snack.
thinking for like road trips, just
Yeah,
having like
oh,
that. Like it looks like that would fit like in a cup holder.
definitely. And they're great for these can go in the freezer too. So even if you like in the summer we go blueberry picking a ton, so we usually just eat through all the blueberries, but sometimes we pick so many that we have to freeze some, and freezing them like this to then throw in a lunchbox the next day would be great. Or if your kids like frozen fruit, which is another great money saving option, is, in the middle of the winter, if you wanted to buy frozen mango or frozen blueberries, frozen strawberries, you still get all the nutrition. They're like picked at the peak of freshness and then flash frozen. So I love buying frozen fruit. And my kids have been devouring frozen mango this summer, like by the pound. We've gone through so many bags of it. So storing it in these little things is great because it keeps it from getting freezer burn and it holds up, stays strong. It's great, like you said, in a cup holder. It's awesome.
It's so funny you mentioned mango because I was so excited when I saw the mango at the Dollar Tree
Yeah.
because I'm like, my my kids have been obsessed with it too.
It's
It's
have you do you, I will sit and eat like a bowl of frozen mango for just like as dessert. It is so good because when it thaws a little bit, it's chewy and cold and refreshing. It's Two of my kids just had their tonsils out last week or 2 weeks ago, and they have been living on frozen mango. Like instead of
yeah,
popsicles, instead of ice cream, they just eat a bowl of frozen mango.
yeah, yeah. It's delicious, so
Yeah, it's
good,
so good.
and it's so good for you.
Yeah, it's great.
Yes, it helps with digestion as well.
Yep.
Awesome. You know what? Um, I know it's 7 o'clock, so it's just I really wanted to touch on your granola bars
Yeah.
again because they're such a good, snack, and they're oh my gosh, we've been making them with added protein.
Oh, good. Like protein powder?
Protein
Or what?
powder, yes, and Rice Krispies.
Yeah, are they good that way?
Yeah, so I'm going to show them to you really quick.
Okay.
So Caitlin has a granola bar, make your own granola bar recipe. Actually, I think Alex is going to tell you all about it. So um, while I grab them,
Perfect. Hi.
So Caitlin, thank you so much for the granola bar recipe. And this show tonight has been so fun. I'm so hungry right now, just seeing all the
Oh,
fun looking snacks.
good.
But in particular, the granola bars have been a staple in my diet ever since you did the show on them. And I took your advice on, I think, the second show you did
Ah,
recipe a little bit. I actually use a 50-50 mix of Rice Krispies and oatmeal, and then that gives a real nice texture.
yeah.
I still like the oatmeal. And then I spice it up. I add basically it's like the scoop that comes with the Ascent vanilla flavored protein powder. I think
Yep.
that's like 30 grams,
Yep.
grams of that protein powder plus 30 grams of PB2 peanut butter protein powder. Um, I add coconut shavings with the chocolate chips,
That's
and
awesome. That sounds so
because
good.
I love chocolate, I use chocolate syrup instead of vanilla. And I'm a big fan.
I'm
Uh,
so glad.
our Kate is a big fan too. We usually go through them pretty quick. I made a new batch today because I was almost out. So.
Yeah. Oh, I'm so glad to hear that because granola bars, I feel like, are one of those foods that with parents get like kind of a bad rap because they're just like a like candy bar level of a snack, but they can be they're so easy and they're so good. And when you make them yourself, they're so affordable too because you can, when you have all those ingredients, it comes together in multiple batches before you run out of the ingredients.
Actually, I'm glad you mentioned the affordability. The one question I have for you is, do you have any substitutes? Because I mean, I love the current formulation where you have the peanut butter and the maple syrup, but maple
Yep.
syrup is pricey.
Maple syrup is pricey. You could definitely use honey too,
Okay,
and
yeah,
in the same ratio of like the same exact
that
amount of maple syrup. But yeah, when you use honey, it's not quite as like GERD friendly necessarily, or maybe low FODMAP. But you could definitely use honey if you can tolerate it. It would be way less expensive.
I'll try to experiment with that. Well, I will
Yeah,
experiment. Next batch.
yeah, and when you make it, just put the honey and the peanut butter in like a microwave safe measuring cup and microwave it together, and then mix it, and then add in your vanilla or your chocolate sauce or something, and it will come together easily, and then will also pour out more easily.
That's fantastic. Well, thank you so much again.
Yeah.
I'll forever be grateful for that contribution. Again, all these. The cool thing is I'm going to get to nibble on all these things that Allison's made you. So, thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. I'm so glad you like it.
yeah. So I don't know if you can see like the Krispies on them.
I love that. I haven't actually
Yeah,
made a batch myself with the Rice Krispies in them, but I really like that idea because all the protein bars have that like crispiness to them, and
yeah.
Finn's friends love those. So I'll have to. I usually make them for the dugout or the whatever sport everybody's playing at the time, and we'll send them for games because they're a great like pre-game snack. So I send them for all the kids for sports.
Yeah, I mean they're great both ways for sure. And just the fact that they're customizable and they're no bake and they're economic. I mean, they're so good. They're
I'm
so
so
good.
glad you like them. It's funny, the recipe,
Yeah,
like when I first like wrote it down and have it, I still have like a little handwritten cookbook that I keep of like all my mom's recipes or my grandmother's recipes. And I have written down that when I first like was like, okay, this is it. This is my granola bar recipe. And at the top of it, it says like the best granola bars ever. Like that's just how we refer to them.
yeah, and it's true. we we really do just like keep a constant flow of these in our home because they're so good and we all love
With
them
all
so
that added
much.
protein that Alex said he was putting in there too, like that you could turn that into a meal, like a glass of milk and an apple with one of those, like that could be a super quick lunch, you know?
Yeah, and when we're talking about like not having things prepped, honestly, sometimes if I'm on like the go, if I'm having like a super busy day or something, that's kind of what I do.
Yeah,
You know, I'll
definitely.
grab one of those and snack on it because they are filling and they're delicious. So
I'm so glad
yeah.
that you guys have like turned them into your own a little bit too and found other flavors that you like and different toppings to add in. That makes me so happy. I love it.
Yes. Well, thank you. So
Absolutely.
and if anybody wants the recipe, it's on foodguides.com. You can
Yeah.
always go to the experts page and click on Caitlin's profile and see all of her delicious recipes and all her wonderful articles. And especially this month, the month of September, because you'll have the sheet pan fajitas out and the less back to school, stress tips
Yes.
and all of that stuff with the wonderful crock pot chicken Caesar
Yeah.
salad.
Yeah, you'll have to let me know how it comes out and if you like it. And then
I
try it
will.
with all
Yeah.
other flavors too. Like barbecue sauce is really good. Salsa is really good for an even just like a different type of shredded chicken fajita dinner. Just dump a jar of your favorite salsa in with that amount of chicken and it's perfect. You don't have to add any other liquid. It's so good. And use
Yes,
the
I'm
mixer
already
to
thinking
shred
of
it.
it. Yes, yeah. I can't wait. I
I
can't
can't
wait to
wait to hear
shred
if you
it.
like
I'm
it.
going to do that tonight.
Yeah, it's so easy. So are you having fajitas tonight?
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
I
definitely.
know.
In fact, I could take a bite right now.
I hope you
Let me
like
do
them.
that.
Yeah, take a bite. Let me see what you think.
Let me take a bite right now so we can test these. I mean, I already know I'm going to love
I
it.
usually also have them with like a scoop of plain yogurt and some chopped up avocado is usually how I eat them.
Mm-hmm.
Good?
Mm-hmm. Mm.
Excellent.
Mm-hmm.
I'm so glad you like them. Easy dinner, easy variation of Taco Tuesday for everybody.
The spice mix is perfect. And I love the thighs. I love
Yeah.
the thigh meat. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh, good. I'm
Yeah, and
glad.
it makes so much too. So
Yeah.
we can have leftovers like fajita nachos.
Yes. Ooh, so good. I'm
I can't
glad.
wait. Well, thank you so much.
Welcome. This was fun as always. It's always like a nice. It's so fun to see you and like it's such a flashback to however many millions of years ago it was that we first met.
I know at school.
And you look exactly the same.
So do you. I know. We just don't age.
Right. I guess that's what it must be that. It must be.
Yes, yes. We'll be in the next Twilight series.
Right.
Definitely. Well, it's always a pleasure. We'll have you on again soon to make something spectacular, I'm sure. So,
Something fallish, I'm sure. We can come up with some
yes.
pumpkin-y apple type of recipe.
Oh my goodness. How about those muffins you talk about?
Yeah. Those are so good. It's almost my kids are psyched for when I make pumpkin muffins again.
Yeah, yeah. I think I need some of that in my life because
Yeah,
I'm definitely a fall girl. So, yes.
ready. I'm ready to flip the switch. It was about 85 degrees and muggy in Massachusetts today, so I'm ready for the like sunny and 70.
Yeah, I can't believe they already released the pumpkin spice latte. I feel
I know, I saw that.
it's too warm. It's
Yeah,
too warm for that.
I'm still on the iced green tea trend. It's a little early
Yeah,
for spice for me,
I
but
know. I agree. The refreshers, I mean,
yes,
you know,
exactly.
for sure. Well, thank you again, and thank you to everybody who hung out with us tonight. It has been a pleasure, and again, come visit us on foodguides.com, and we will see you all again soon.
Sounds good. Thank you, Allison.
Yes, thank you all. Have a great night, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.